Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Going to the Mat. This is a Disney Channel movie, I'm pretty sure. It's from 2004. It's an hour and 33 minutes long, and it is, it has all the elements of a Disney Channel movie, but it stars Andrew Lawrence, brother of Joey Lawrence. Whoa. He's playing a high school kid who is moved to a new school from New York City, small town, with his parents. The only difference is that he's blind, and this is one of those films where you would expect that it'd be like, oh, we're gonna just overcome a handicap or something. It just, it'd be all very the struggles of being blind and a teenager. It's actually not about that. Yeah, it figures into a lot of the elements of the story, but it's really more about, well, he plays Jace, by the way. Andrew plays Jace. It's more about trying to fit in as any kid would when they go to a new school. He just has the added element of being visually impaired, and being that way, being that it's nothing new to him. It's not like he just suddenly became blind when he went to this new school. He's dealt with this entire life. They make it very clear from the very start of the film that he plays sports. He plays baseball. He plays basketball, and all with the assisted, telemetry, whatever it is. It's just all the little beeping devices that keep track of where the ball is, or where the basket is, or where when he's playing ball, the guy's throwing the ball and he's batting and he hits the ball. Yeah, there's not like he's diminished in any way, and that's a good angle to take at this, because normally it would be, oh, poor guy, hopefully he can make friends. Actually, Jace is kind of a jerk. And that's kind of the point of this. He has a bit of a chip on his shoulder coming into this new school, thinking that his life back in the big city was so much greater, and he just had it all. And coming into this small town, well, everybody's a bunch of hicks and rubes, and it's a defensive measure for him, not opening himself up to certain people, because he feels different. He feels alone. And also the kids in the school don't know how to treat him. The default action for most, the default mental state for a lot of kids in a school when the new kid shows up is, at least in Disney films, is never sympathy. It's bullying, of course. So the jocks in the school, who are in every sport, apparently, they pick on him, and also the smaller friend played by Cleo Thomas. Who he immediately makes friends with at an early part of the film. A pretty young girl takes an interest in him as well on his first day, helping him through the school. He doesn't know how pretty she is, but you can tell by her voice she must be quite a looker. And of course, yeah, does he get the girl? You figure it out. Does he have a best friend who eventually feels neglected when things start working out for him? Yeah, that kind of happens. Does he face off of the bullies in some way, and either struggling against them and overcoming them, and also befriending some in order to go, oh, you know what, maybe you're not so bad now that I understand who you are, then we can help each other. Yeah, that happens too. It's a Disney film, so yeah, it's not everything has to be a battle, a Karate Kid moment to the end, but it's friendship, overcoming adversity through friendship, and that's okay. That's great. That's a good lesson to learn. Through this, he has a number of mentors. One of the things he learns pretty quickly, and I'm not gonna spoil the whole story. I'm not gonna give away the ending or anything, but you gotta understand. You can look just at this. He becomes a wrestler. Yeah, so it's in order to sort of fit in. He's told that he should join a sport, and probably the not the easiest, but one that isn't impeded by his visibility problems, or not visibility problems. Yeah, his blindness. So it would be least impeded by wrestling. So, maybe he wouldn't be so good at football, let's say. Possible, but I think there'd be a lot of things that would have to come into play that would possibly alter the game itself in order to allow a blind football player to play. Not to say that, that can't happen, but, that's a whole other story if he became a football player. In this, though, and again, you almost think that this is based on a true story. I don't think it is, but it goes through all the steps of this kind of story, true or not, that you would find in a teen coming-of-age film, learning to be accepted despite his difference, the way he is different to the rest of the world. He gets mentors along the way. Of course, music teacher. He's a drummer, by the way. And a guitarist. He's a talented musician. Again, there is no point in this where they're like, oh, you know what? Being blind, it's a pretty big handicap. They don't ever talk that down in a sense. It affects his life, absolutely, but it never prevents him from living life. And in fact, some kids are kind of jealous of him that he has more than one thing. He can actually do a whole lot of things. He is not held back by any of these vision impairment issues. So, and of course, he gets the pretty girl, Alessandra Torresani. She's been in a ton of stuff since then. I can't remember which, but one of his mentors is Wayne Brady. Yeah, does Wayne Brady get to sing in this? Yeah, he does. And guess what? Wayne Brady is also blind in this movie. Andrew is also not really blind in real life. So they're sighted guys playing blind guys. And yes, is there a Daredevil reference? Yeah, there's a Daredevil reference. Even in 2004, I guess the Ben Affleck film had come out by then. Yeah, you almost forget that Ben Affleck was Daredevil for a minute, right? Yeah, wow. Anyway, D.B. Sweeney plays his coach, and also the dad of the pretty blonde girl that he gets involved with. By the way, there's also, how do you learn how to wrestle? He doesn't know how to wrestle at all. The daughter of the coach, which maybe I wasn't paying attention enough. It took me a while to realize that she was the daughter of the coach. She teaches him. She knows that she's a big fan of wrestling because of her dad's involvement, obviously. She knows how guys wrestle. And so she teaches him through dance. And yeah, it's that kind of thing. So you got to have that kind of meet cute kind of moment where they come together in a way that is sweet and romantic and fairly innocent, very innocent. But yeah, is there a stolen kiss at some point in the film? Of course. But yeah, it's most of this. The handicap that Jace has is the chip on his shoulder, the issue that he has with just dealing with people who he feels don't understand him, and he treats them like crap. Or he has a smart mouth, honestly. He doesn't really treat people like crap so much as he fights back. He kicks back pretty quickly. He doesn't roll over for anybody. So that can be a good thing, but also you do it a little bit too much, take a lot of people off. You don't exactly make friends that way when you're the new kid. So yeah, they kind of shift away from the visual impairment thing to him just trying to fit in a school where nobody really believes that he can do these things. Of course, his teammates, guys have been in the former bully, the still bullies, but now they're his teammates. And is he going to overcome the differences he has with them? Is he going to become a decent wrestler? Well, that raised arm seems to indicate that somebody won. So, yeah. Again, I'm not really spoiling anything for you. You know how these sports movies work. You know how these Disney movies work. Yeah. So, it's a fine film. It's not would be the kind of movie that I'd be, oh my gosh, I need to go see this. It's I think for a number of kids who might be visually impaired, it might be a really inspirational film. I don't know. I don't think it panders at any point. I don't think it tries to manipulate your emotions to be a certain way when it comes to him. Like I said, he's fully capable in every way, and it just shows that it's just one more hurdle that he has to deal with, other than being a jerk. So yeah, it has a bit of humor. It's quite a bit of drama, but yeah, it falls along the lines of pretty much, you kind of know where everybody's storyline is going to go at some point or another. Pretty early on, you know how it's structured. And it's not that it's a bad thing. I think kids would enjoy this film. For adults, yeah. It's not a dumb film. It's not one of those situations where some Disney or Nickelodeon, a lot of these films from that era, from TV shows and stuff as well, it felt like every time a parent was on screen or an authority figure was on screen, they would be demeaned by the cool kids. And it's not one of these situations. It's not a comedy. So it's actually well done, decently acted. I can't really say a whole lot of anything bad about it. It's just that it's not made for me. So it did feel like it's only an hour and 33 minutes long. It did feel like I was watching a season of a TV show about this, like 6 episodes. It felt longer than it really was, but I don't know. I'm tired. I don't know. I'm getting old. Anyway, yeah, other than that, DB Sweeney, Brenda Strong, yeah, but it's DB Sweeney and Wayne Brady are probably the biggest names you'll recognize in these. If you don't know the name DB Sweeney right off the bat, you might recognize his face if you've seen enough movies and TV over the last 30-some years. So, yeah. And Wayne Brady, of course, yeah. It's worth checking out if you're into sports dramas, teenage sports dramas, which there is no shortage of on Disney+. So, let's pick tomorrow's episode. 336. That's pretty far down the list. 336. 336. Okay, it's a documentary. I don't know if it's a series or if it's just a single episode. I have a feeling it's a series. But it's about, I believe, people. Not animals, not mummies, not outer space. It's about people from a certain region of the United States. This is called The Montaners. The Montaners? The Montaners? I don't know. Anyway, that's what we're watching next. The Montaners. Now I've got myself questioning it. The Montaners is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.